The following is a real-world example which demonstrates pretty much all the capabilities of GraphPad. Now, by default, a lot of people think that GraphPad is a drawing engine, and to be sure, it definitely has a very nice drawing engine. You can see how easy it is to draw, but it's designed to be part of a contract that's being created while in the field. And in this case, this is for a foundation company, and we not only have the drawing capability, but we also have the icons that they use for a foundation company incorporated. We have, for example, they need to be able to apply dimensions very easy, so we have a list of dimensions that they can utilize and just drop those into the drawing, etc. But in addition to that, and we'll go back to our symbols, let's see, foundation symbols. As we drop a symbol onto the drawing, we'll notice that that symbol becomes part of a legend. And so we can have all of our symbols added in, and as we add them in, it'll populate this legend for us. Now, in addition, we could actually count the icons and then apply a cost. And so in the library system, we'll actually see under the foundation elements, we can actually see that we can apply not only a name to this, but a cost, etc. So that covers a lot of just the drawing capabilities, but where it really becomes interesting is when we start integrating it. And in this case, I'm going to go out to a map view, and we're going to open up an appointment. So we have a 9 o'clock appointment with Ralph. When we actually load that appointment, we also load all the customer information. So if we now open up that same form, what we'll see, if we go to the second page, we'll see the customer information has been downloaded and pre-populates the form for us. And so that saves a lot of effort in terms of as you go to a client, just typing this information in. And it can be anything. It downloads the information as JSON, as long as the fields, and I'll show something here that normally isn't on. If I have the field names, as long as these field names correspond to the key of the JSON that's coming down, it'll automatically pre-populate that information. And it'll populate it throughout all the forms. We'll go ahead and turn that off real quick. Turn that off, makes that easier. So now, in addition, so they have calculations, and a very standard calculation is just to go ahead and sum up the services. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and put in a service, put in $540, hit return. Now what happens, not only does it populate this information over into this services accepted field, but it also adds it to a total, two totals down here. Total of services and the total of the entire invoice. And so these calculations, so for example, say we recommended that they do removal and replace of concrete, and we say that that's going to be another $180. We have the option in this case of going ahead and saying, you know what, the customer doesn't want that service, we'll put in 0, return, and we can have him initial that field. So for example, we'll click on this field and I'll put in my initials, RBS, saying that I acknowledge that this was recommended, but I actually didn't populate it. And we'll see again that our total is all of the values that we've actually accepted. Now, we can also have a list of values. For example, if we go over here, say for example, we have some services that we don't normally have. If we press inside one of these fields, we can have this as a list that's part of it. And so we can, for example, say we want to have the cracked seal membrane service performed. We'd put in a value for that. Probably not too much. And again, it copies that over to the accepted services, and then upon that, it actually summarizes it. At the end of this, the user, we've shown that we can actually initial certain fields, but we have a signature field down here, and I'll try and do my best signature, which is pretty crappy. But at the time we sign it, it actually populates the date. And so if we came back, made some changes, we could actually re-sign this document, it would update the date, and it would actually give us a new summarization. Going through the rest of the form, you can see it's a multi-page form. Now, not only is the customer information populated, but for your business, you can pre-populate some information as well. So we notice this DyaPier logo. We'll also notice that we scroll down, we've got our company name, our company address, our company phone number. Those fields also get populated into the form where necessary. So if we go to the last page of this proposal, we'll see, again, we've got our DyaPier logo that's being populated, and that's being pulled from the iPad. And then also we've got our company information, which we set up here. And again, that's set up in our settings. And that really demonstrates pretty much everything associated with this application. At the end of it, you would actually just email this to the customer. You could set up a blind copy. So for example, here we have a blind copy field, and this would actually blind copy your server in the back end or your company so that they get a copy as well every time you send one out. And that's pretty much everything you can do. And you can see you can configure this in multiple ways. At present, it does require consulting time. The setup is a little bit on the complicated side. It's too complicated to put on the iPad. But this really demonstrates exactly how much different this is from just a normal drawing application. This really is a way of actually calculating or creating complete proposals on site while talking to the customer, which includes not only pictures, but drawings, etc., all in one simple package. And that's my presentation. Thanks.